Guys, my guest today for Life Begins at 40 is Dr. Rekha Thakur. Dr. Rekha Thakur is a seasoned gynecologist with 18 years of experience, and she's also a consultant with various hospitals in Gurgaon. I'm very pleased to have her on board today because the video today is unlike what other videos have been about a personality. They are thematic. Today's video is thematic, and we're going to be requesting Dr. Rekha to educate us on menopause and its various stages.
Sure. Thank you, Sanjana. Thank you for inviting me to talk.
Thank you for taking the time to come. Thank you.
So much.
Okay, so the first question, Dr. Rekha, is what is menopause, and are there any stages to menopause?
Yes. So menopause is when there is absence of hormone estrogen in our body, which means that the ovaries have stopped producing estrogen hormone, and this estrogen is the hormone which takes care of female reproductive system. So in the absence of estrogen, the woman goes through a lot of changes in the body, and that's what we call it menopause. So it has three phases. One is the premenopausal, one is menopause, and the next one is postmenopausal. So there are three phases of it. Now, when do we call menopause? It is when a woman has not had menstrual cycle for 1 year. So that's when we say that she is attained menopause. So the absence of menstrual cycle for 1 year is the criteria to say that okay, the woman is menopausal. The premenopause stage is the phase which is before menopause. So that's when the cycles are irregular. So the menstrual cycle, they may happen once in 15 days, once in 2 months, or once in 6 months.
Wow.
So that's a premenopausal stage. So that stage may last for 4 months, 6 months, or a maximum of 4 years.
That's long.
Yeah, it's long, but that's a maximum time that the woman may have irregular cycle, and we call it premenopausal. And postmenopause is when the woman have not had cycle for 2 consecutive years, and beyond that, the complete is called postmenopausal age. Yes.
Okay. And what are the symptoms that women go through during menopause? Also, are they physiological or psychological or emotional or whatever? Also, and do all women have the same symptoms?
Now we need to understand menopause is a phase of life, and every woman goes through it. So we have to understand it's a physiological process, and anything which is physiological is not harmful to the body, or it's not a disease.
Okay.
So we need to believe that it's a physiological process of a woman's life.
Okay, so it's natural. सबके साथ होगा.
सबके साथ होगा और होना ही है. Yeah, beyond the age of 45 and 50, a woman has to attain menopause, right? So we have to be mentally, physically, emotionally prepared for it. It is not a disease.
And what are the symptoms that
the symptoms the woman faces few challenges during the transition phase, and also beyond that. The symptoms can be mood swings. She can have urinary incontinence, skin changes, joint pains, which is in terms of osteoporosis, the bones become weak. She'll have weight gain, more around the belly fat. So there are a lot of anxiety, depression, hot flushes. So there are many symptoms, but if we are mentally and emotionally prepared, we can handle them happily.
And do all women have the same symptoms?
No, not really.
Not really.
Some may have none, and some may have all. We need to look at the
individual cases.
Yes. But the most common symptoms are hot flushes and anxiety, mood swings, depression, and urinary incontinence. That's one.
Yeah, that's a very troublesome thing. Yeah. So what I hear you say is that the entire process is anywhere from 2 years to 6 years of premenopausal and menopausal stage, and going on to postmenopausal, which could be.
We need to understand some women may have premenopausal state, some don't. Sometimes the menopause starts suddenly. The cycle just stops, and she enters the menopausal stage. For 1 year, no cycle. We call, okay, you haven't entered menopause, and it goes on. But some women may have irregular cycle, and that goes on for 2 months, 6 months, a year, or maximum 4 years. So those are very few women who has a problem for 4 years before they enter.
So, Dr. Rekha, what age do these symptoms of premenopause normally start?
The age for the start of menopause is somewhere around close to 45 years. 45 to 50 is the age anytime the menopause can start. But recently we have observed that the age is coming down. So menopause has started at the age of 40 as well. So there are many reasons to it. The girls have started her cycles very early, so it's going to end also very early. There are a lot of misuse of hormonal medicines that is causing early menopause, and also it's also about genetics. So if the mom or the grandmoms have early menopause, so the girl will also have early menopause.
Okay, so that could also affect.
Yes, so we have seen as early as 38, 40 years of women going into menopause.
Dr. Rekha, you shared about the you said physiological changes, and you said that depression bhi ho sakta hai and hot flushes bhi ho sakte hain. What are the essential physical changes that one goes through? Like, I am not able to, this budge is not budging from the tummy.
The physical changes are basically the skin changes, where you see a lot of fine lines on the face and pigmentation. The skin doesn't glow as before. Hair loss, hair changes, gaining weight, which is more of the weight around the belly, and also joint pains and weakness in the bones, where we are not as active as before.
What do you think will help us through this transition of premenopause, menopause, whatever it is? So,
Sanjana, we need to understand menopause is a physiological process. So we need to know what are the changes coming my way, and we need to be prepared mentally, physically, emotionally to handle it. That's a one solution that we need to be prepared for it.
आपने एक बोला था एक survival kit है आपका. कुछ points का, can you share that with us, please?
Yeah, so if you want to know, because it's a physiological process, we can handle it happily and confidently. And it needs no medicines. Though we do have medicines for it, but not all women need it if we can handle it positively. Now, how to handle these symptoms is the most important topic, or the most important part of it. Now, we need to see that this is a physiological process. We can handle it by making some lifestyle modifications. Let me tell you more about it. Lifestyle modification means first is the eating habits. We know that I'm going to gain weight after 40 or after menopause, so I need to check on what I eat. So we need to check on what we eat. No sugar, no fat, no junk. No pizza, no burger. So we need to check on what am I eating and how much calorie am I eating daily. We need to include more of fruits, salads, and any food item which is rich in antioxidants. Antioxidants is like a therapy for menopausal symptoms. So we need to focus more on food items which are rich in antioxidants. Another thing to include in our food is milk or dairy products, where we get a lot of calcium. The second thing is exercise. Exercise is very, very important because it takes away a lot of stress from inside. It builds up the stamina, and it also doesn't allow the weight gain to happen. But I will stress that every woman should have a trainer while exercising. It is not about just going for a walk morning and evening and saying, okay, I do regular exercise, I do regular work. That will not help, let me tell you. So what I recommend is, whether you go to gym or you do it at home, please have a trainer, have an expert for you. He is going to guide you what exercise to do, right exercise to strengthen your bones and your muscles and your joints. It's going to help you lose your weight, not letting your weight gain. and also keep you happy and motivated.
Got that.
Yeah, that's very important. We go to gym one day and the next day we don't want to go and say, oh, आज depression हो रही है मुझे. That should not happen. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. So we should have a trainer who really pushes you hard and motivates you that no, you should come for exercise, and it acts more like a stress reliever.
Got that. Gee.
Once we feel fit inside, I think half a job is done.
Gee. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So first you said is food.
Eating healthy, exercise daily.
Gee.
With a trainer.
Gee.
Not
with a trainer.
Yes. The third one is meditation.
Gee.
Meditation is equally important to cope up menopause.
So meditation.
If the woman is facing insomnia or difficulty in sleeping, please do it before going to bed.
Gee.
In the evening, do it early morning, any time of the day. But meditation helps.
Got that.
It really helps.
Gee.
It gives us beyond this. What we need is we should have our own community of people where we have family or friends or colleagues, job, or if where we can share, talk, have some happy times. If we have no one, please then I would suggest that start doing some social work to keep yourself busy.
That's so wonderful.
That really helps.
Gee.
Moving out of our comfort zone, out of our home, and doing something for the world and the family and others, that itself gives us a lot of peace, and we find that I don't have depression anymore.
Gee.
That's the thing.
Gee.
And beyond this, we need to go for a regular annual health checkup where screening for diabetes, hypertension, your calcium levels. So all these are very important. Gee. Most important is screening for breast cancer and screening for cervical cancer. So these tests has to be done once a year. Gee. And it is important to keep diabetes and hypertension under control with medication, without medication, whatever it be.
Gee.
So doctor's visit is a must once a year.
Gee. Do we need psychologists? Do we need supplements?
I would suggest that if any woman is finding it difficult in spite of doing these exercises and meditation, if still she has some challenges, it is advisable that she should meet a psychologist or a counselor or at least a gynecologist to share her problems. It is very important.
Gee.
Not to delay, because if we do not take help at the right time, this takes a serious, it becomes like a depression where the medicine is required.
Gee. And do we need any supplements otherwise outside of the healthier
supplements? Yes, we need supplements in terms of calcium, vitamin D, multivitamins, and antioxidants.
Antioxidants
yes.
in
supplements, yes.
Also.
It can be in the form of multivitamins, or you can have separate antioxidant supplements.
Gee. And this brings me to the last question.
Yes.
So we all talk about women going through menopause. Do men also go through menopause?
Yes. What do you think so, Sanjana?
I don't know. As we were talking, I have friends who tell their husbands कि तुम्हें PMS हो रहा है, तुम menopausal हो. So perhaps, I don't know. And
yes.
Who do they go to अगर उनको होता है तो?
Yes, this question is very interesting. And men also go through menopause. Their sexual hormone, the testosterone hormone, also goes down. But it's a very slow process. But testosterone hormone, when it decreases in its level, they also feel the difference, and they also face fatigue, anxiety, and depression, and loss of libido. So they do go through it. And who they visit to? They have their own doctor, andrologist. So they go and see their doctor.
Interesting.
Yes. So that brings me to another point where if the woman is sexually active post-menopausal, she should also use water-based lubricant that prevents vaginal irritations.
Oh, okay. That's another thing that women go through. Interesting. So, how can men and women support each other through both their menopausal stages? Can they do anything that would help them continue a better relationship?
Yes, it's very important to know this, how to help each other during menopause. I think the best way is to by the couple, if they spend time talking to each other, sharing their problems, and trying to balance their relationship without landing up in any kind of arguments or fights. That's the best way. I believe in two things. One is giving personal time to each other. That's very important. So both the partners should have their me time where they do what they want, they finish their hobby. So I think this is very important to maintain relationship even after menopause at an age beyond 50. Where the partners should respect each other, talk to each other, share their problems, and not to lose their emotional, emotional connect or emotional stability, where they don't really be harsh to each other and be more calm and more accommodating, So that happens only by two ways. One is not to have high expectations from each other, but rather they should talk to each other share all their problems and not look for solutions for every problem, but rather just sharing their problem with each other, spending time together. That's a great relationship that really helps.
Those are wonderful tips. So I would have thought of it as key solution dhundo, but what you said is so beautiful that it's more about sharing, not finding essentially a solution.
Yes, not everything has solutions, Sanjana. We need to accept there are a lot of family issues, there are a lot of personal issues, but not every problem has a solution. But sharing is important.
That's
not keeping the problem.
Educating us about menopause. And Dr. Rekha has a clinic called Wellstar Clinic in Sector 57 in Gurgaon. And she has various specialists on board. Dr. Rekha, would you like to tell us?
Yeah, so I have a clinic by name Wellstar Clinic and Diagnostics right in Best Tech Center Square Mall, Gurgaon, Sector 57. And we have a team of doctors here, which includes cardiologist, dermatologist, nutritionist, psychologist, counselor, and radiologist. We have facilities for diagnostic as well, where we do all kind of blood tests, ultrasound, x-ray, ECG. We do vaccinations, we do first aids. So it's like a polyclinic setup. So we have all.
Even I didn't know you do all of that.
We do all.
So, but thank you so much, Dr. Rekha.